Hey friends, I'm Dr. Tracy. This is Kingdom Recovery just for today. It's National Recovery Month. And about a week ago, I shared about foundation. And I was talking to you about faith, hope, and trust being some of the most important foundational stones that we have in our recovery process of life, because we're really recovering back to God's original dream and plan and purpose. And if you ever want to hear more teachings of the Word of God, you can also go to our Facebook page called Ministry Movement Moments, where I share some different teachings on the Word of God. And you can go to our YouTube channel as well. If you'd like information on that, we'll be sure to share it on our Facebook pages. And this is Kingdom Recovery just for today. So we really focus everything that we talk about here about getting back what we lost, getting back what was stolen from us, getting back those things that were God's dream for us and restoring us back. I don't have a lot of time, so I'm gonna save that for another day. But today I want to talk about another foundation stone. Are you ready? It's called the capacity to change. If you're going to recover, if you're going to return to a normal state of mind, health, and strength in your life, you're going to have a capacity to change. You're going to have to be able to lengthen out those tent stakes. You're going to have to be able to enlarge your borders of truth, your borders of skills, your borders of information, and I'll go into that in just a minute. But there was a man in the Word of God in the big book, his name was Jabez, and he prayed this prayer: Lord, enlarge my borders and increase my capacity. A lot of times we don't get where we want to in life, and we don't recover all because we refuse to embrace change. We have a saying in Kingdom Recovery: embrace the process. And part of embracing that process of recovery is that we embrace the capacity to be enlarged and to change. Now I'm going to look at my notes a little bit today, and I want to make sure that I give you some points that will help you understand this capacity to change. One of the things is we have to create opportunities for change. And let me just say it this way: through classes, through mentors, through coaches, through books, through events, we are creating opportunities for the practice and progress that's measurable. Let me say that again. When we create opportunities through books, through movies, through events, through learning videos, through meetings that we go to, through just getting into new atmospheres around new kinds of people, removing toxic people, and we create opportunities for expansion. Right? And so have you ever got to the place where you say, this place is too small for me? There's not enough room for me to grow anymore. It might be in your job, it might be among your friends, it might be among your family, it might be in the house that you live, and you say, there's just not enough room anymore. In other words, what you're saying is, I need to increase my capacity. And in order to do that, you're going to have to take on some change. You're going to have to take some opportunities. Let's just use a simple one of a house. Your house is too small for you. Your family's grown, your family's enlarged, you're looking for a bigger space. Well, in order to get and find that bigger space, it's not just going to come and a house going to plop next door and say, here you go, there's the house that you move into. No, you're going to have to create an opportunity to investigate and find a new dwelling. You're going to have to create an opportunity by looking at things on the internet or going with a real estate broker. You're going to have to find someone who can coach you along the way of how to go through the process of buying this bigger home. So you are embracing the capacity to change what you presently have that's not enough for you. Or you might find in your addiction that unless you change your people, places, and playgrounds, unless you create opportunities to be around people who are clean and sober, unless you create opportunities by taking on events and things that will inspire you and help you, unless you take on opportunities of classes to help broaden your horizon and your ability to perceive and embrace the world around you and believe for more in your life, then you're going to stay stagnant. You've got to begin to practice, and you've got to have progress for change. So that's part of what capacity to change does. It gives us the ability to measure our our practice, and our progress. Now, another thing is we have to get resources and we have to get support. If you're going to increase your capacity for change, you're going to have to look for new resources. You're going to have to look for new ways of doing things. You're going to have to look for other people to support you, because evidently your support system and your network is not enough, or you would continue to evolve. You would continue to grow. But if you get to a place where you're no longer growing, you need to ask yourself the question, what can I do to increase my capacity to change and to have more? Another thing we have to do is make sure that our course of action is one that supports our new behaviors. Yeah, new behaviors take place when we take on a capacity to change. So then we have to daily take inventory if our course of action is in line with or supporting our new behavior. Example, I don't want to talk like a sailor anymore. I want to talk like a queen, or I want to talk like a king. I want to talk like a professional. So then you're going to daily take note of what's coming out of your mouth and ask yourself, are the words that I am speaking in line with the change of my behavior that I want to accomplish? It might be that you want to lose some weight and become healthier. Maybe you've damaged your body from just neglecting it and not taking care of it, or you've neglected it by the use of a substance. And so now you're going to take a course of action. You're going to embrace the capacity to change, and is your course of action lining up with you saying, I want to get healthier? Did you take a vitamin today? Have you had your blood pressure checked? Have you had your sugar checked? Are you going out for a walk? Are you drinking water? And the list goes on. What are you putting in? You're going to ask yourself, is my course of action lining up with where I want my outcome to be? That's embracing a capacity to change. It must be in your foundation if you're ever going to reach the results that you want. Another one, self-care. Are you putting self-care first? A plan or process to remain healthy throughout your journey is what self-care is. Let me say that again. A plan or a process to remain healthy throughout the entire journey. So you got to have a plan. What do I mean by that? Self-care. Okay, well, you've got to think ahead. Now, if I spend this money, am I going to have enough money to do this? Because you're trying to become more financially stable, I would hope. If I put this in my body, is this going to give me? Am I taking care of self first? Am I taking that place and I'm processing and I'm increasing my capacity of change, and I know a plan or a process that I'm going to take to meet that goal, and not only once, but is it going to be through longevity of my entire journey? Am I going to be able to finish my race, right? Okay, I'm running out of time, so I've got a couple more. Plan ahead for mistakes. Part of capacity for change is planning ahead for mistakes and failures. Give yourself an opportunity that if I make a mistake, I'm not going to sulk in it. I'm not going to get stuck in it. I'm not getting stuck in the mud. I'm not paying stupid tax. I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to become more aware of myself, more aware of myself. I'm going to grow in the knowledge of who I am, where my weaknesses are. I'm going to accept myself where I'm at and know what I have to do to get there. I'm going to embrace what? A capacity to change the things and the patterns and the behaviors and the cycles that I've got myself in, and I'm going to love myself. I'm going to love myself enough to change. I don't want to keep getting broken. I don't want to keep losing stuff. I don't want to keep having people misinterpret who I am. I'm going to embrace the capacity of change, and I am going to plan ahead because I know I'm human. I'm going to make some mistakes, but when I make them, I'm going to learn from them. I'm going to become self-aware. I'm going to have self-acceptance, and I'm going to have self-love. And the last one is to convert knowledge into action. In order to have a capacity of change, you have to be willing to take what you've got in your head and start walking it out. Are you walking out what you know? Is there evidence that what you say you know is what you do? Because if you are saying one thing and doing another, you have not embraced a capacity to change. You have to see that your words line up with your actions. Okay, and I want to talk about this. To maintain ambiguity, which means that you're going to embrace the fact that I might have to do it different because what I'm doing is not working. So I have to have that place of ambiguity that I can do things. I can step outside of my boxes. I can try new things, and I can do things. So today I want to encourage you in Kingdom Recovery to embrace the foundational stone of the capacity of change by creating opportunities, by making sure that your course of action is lining up with your and supporting your behaviors, by taking self-care as vital and important, by planning ahead for the mistakes that you might make, and converting that knowledge into action. God bless you. This is Kingdom Recovery. I'm Dr. Tracy, and just for today, choose to recover and choose to embrace the capacity for change.